Well, cutting hair and building an empire. One Southside barber is paving the way to keep young men out of the system and into a better life. CBS 2's Sade Gray has this Black History Month profile.
I survived with my life. I'm thankful for it. I'm 35 years old. I'm supposed to be dead.
Curtis Brown has been in and out of the system.
My background pretty much was gangs and drugs. So that's how I came to met Larry. I think the first time I met him, I might have been like 19, Division 6, inside the barbershop.
Larry is Larry Roberts Jr. Roberts owns 2 barbershops located inside Walmart in the Chatham and Pullman neighborhoods. And he has 7 barber colleges across the state, including 3 schools inside the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice and the Cook County Jail.
They just want another opportunity to do something different, right? But if we don't give them that opportunity, and if all we do is talk about them and badmouth them and say they'll never be no good, then they're going to continue carjacking, playing the credit cards and, robbing and stealing.
Roberts started the program in Cook County Jail in 2010 as a way to build a better community. And that's where he met Brown, who 16 years ago was locked behind bars.
At the time he was speaking life into us, we just thought he was preaching and didn't pay him no attention. So it actually took me going into that same division like 4 or 5 times before it actually hit me.
Larry opened his Barber's College in 2004, and since then, more than 2,000 students have graduated. Nearly 4,000 have attended, with a 52% graduation rate.
So another classroom back here.
To make sure students leave Larry's Barber College without student loans from the $17,000 tuition, Roberts created the Data Foundation Incorporated, a nonprofit organization to help provide financial resources to students and correctional facility inmates.
They can't touch the floor until they've been in class for at least 8 weeks.
Roberts says there's a stigma that cutting hair isn't a real job.
We can be responsible for somebody's death sitting in our chair, literally inside a barbershop or a beauty shop, right? We have to learn about HIV, AIDS, malaria, hepatitis, electricity and light therapy, microbiology, folliculitis.
Roberts isn't just trying to teach his students how to cut hair.
I'm trying to teach about paying taxes, having 401k, having an exit plan, having something to retire to.
Larry Roberts Jr. is someone you should know. You might remember that phrase more than a decade ago when CBS got an inside look of his jailhouse barber college. He says a lot has changed since then.
From 2012 to now I've become more disciplined. I've become a better steward, and I understand what it means more to be able to make sure that I need to create an atmosphere and an environment where you help the people that help you.
As for Brown, his next goal is to mentor the youth with clippers, like Roberts has done.
If you change your way of thinking, your life will change.
Sade Gray, CBS 2 News.
And Roberts says corrections officials in other states like Florida have reached out to him to expand his barbershop, so really making an impact here. And there's so much more to talk about with the story, so we wanted to bring in Larry Roberts Jr. live so we can just dig a little bit more into your start with this. I mean, how did you get into barbering first?
My parents always say had a lame brain idea about building a house out in Matson, Illinois. So there weren't many people that looked like me. So I draw, right? So I went and bought a pair of clippers for $19 when I was 13 years old from Walgreens. And I pretty much, start cutting everybody's hair. I said, hey man, I'll pay you $3 if I mess you up, but if I do a good job, you got to pay me. And that's where it started at, and I started in the basement.
The hustle at 13,
At 13.
I love that.
It's always nice to hear how all these things start. Wow. So we saw that in Sade's piece where she talks about, you starting out in the Cook County Jail and also the Juvenile Justice Center. So why choose that as the way to spread this very incredible thing you're doing?
So I've been in business for 30 years, right? So I started my first barbershop when I was 19. So, I have businesses in the wild hundreds, as they call it, 79th Street, the 9, as they call it, right? So I see these people and everybody governing people who are locked up behind bars as bad people, right? But everybody that's locked up behind bars aren't necessarily bad people. They made a mistake one time in their life, maybe when they were younger. They get out to try and do something different, but then when they get out, society says no. You got a criminal background, you have an X on your back. So what do you expect them to do except for go back to what they know, and what happened? They end right back up in jail, right? So you have the carjacking, you have the, playing of the credit cards and stealing and all of those things. So I wanted to go and be a resource. So I do it totally complimentary. I've been in Cook County Jail now for 13 years. I do it complimentary through my non-for-profit, which is Data Foundation Scholarships. And I just wanted to go and to be a resource, right? And they allow me to proctor the exam as well. So now they can walk up out of jail and be licensed as a licensed barber. Then I can put them to work inside of Walmart, which is the biggest box store in the world. So, and they become tax-paying citizens because they get W-2s, 401k, all of the benefits that come along with it.
So right out of jail, you're giving them an opportunity to actually earn a living, something to do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I love what you talked about, breaking that cycle, right? Because if they need to make money to pay bills, to take care of what they need to take care of, how are they going to make money?
Crime and poverty.
Right.
I mean, those work together hand in hand, right? So if we can do something about, but also we have to make sure that we deal with their character. I always talk about we have to be careful that we don't allow our character, our gift to take us someplace that our character can't handle, right? So we do mentoring through our non-for-profit. We do life skills. We deal with mental health, substance abuse, veterans, senior citizens. We deal with all of those things. We give free services every fourth Tuesday of the month to the grammar schools, and whosoever will, let them come, right? So I just try and be well-rounded to make sure that we can kind of do our part, and give our little 2 cents to the community, and just really help, with the recidivism, and just really help change these young men and women, their mind about, their direction in life.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, you can get a job, but you got to keep it. So I love that character building part of it and understanding like that longevity, right?
Absolutely.
You want to build a career, not just get a job.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And also, speaking of barbershops and barbering, I know, growing up, beauty salons were somewhere that my mom and I would always go on Saturdays. You were there under the dryer. I know for barbershops, that's a big thing too. It's a place where the Black community comes. You talk together. You connect with others. Isn't that a big part, like a big fixture?
It's a big part of. Everybody comes there. I'm a celebrity barber, so I've cut all of the ball players, baseball, football, basketball player. I was Judge Mathis barber for a whole year. People in Hollywood. I play drums and keyboards professionally, so I had an opportunity to cut a lot of people in the music industry. But a lot of people minimize who we are as barbers, right? Do you guys know what the red, white, and blue barber poles stand for?
No, but I see them.
Okay, so the red is for blood, the blue is for veins, the white is for bandages, and the ball on the bottom is called a basin. We used to be doctors and dentists back in the day, but it was later on in the 1800s when they separated the professions. So that's why it's so important on what we do. If you cut hair or do hair inside of a shop without a license, it's considered a misdemeanor. You could actually go to jail for that, right? If you don't have a license. So I like to teach that we are a $547 billion industry, right? But people minimize us because of our postures inside of the shop. The music we play, people standing out in front that make people afraid to come in to get a service done, right? The way we smell, the way we look, if we're grooming people, we have to look like what it is we do, right? Yeah. So I teach all of these things inside of my schools. It's not just about cutting hair. I tell my students, I want you to be successful. I don't care about your money more than I care about you succeeding when you leave here. So I think that that's a very intricate part. We're counselors inside of the shop. People tell us all of their business in the shop, So,
that happens.
we got to kind of hold it down a little bit, if you will. But yeah, the shop is the place to come in. It should be a safe haven for the community, right? So everybody can come there.
Well, I'm so glad the men that you work with and boys that you work with have that mentorship and someone to look to who's been there and done that. Larry Roberts Jr., thank you for joining us. We appreciate you sharing
Thank you
more
for
about
having me.
this.
Thank you.
Thanks for the work you do, first and foremost.
I appreciate it.